Welcome. It's been a little bit of a crazy afternoon here preparing for this live stream. Had to troubleshoot a lot of different things. I am going to be doing this on my phone today. So as people pop on, let me know if you're able to hear me. Hopefully the phone the phone will work for us. I know it's a little harder for me to read the comments. I usually do this on my laptop, but we're having some issues there. There were honestly so many strange things that kept popping up while I was preparing to do this live stream that I started to question for a minute whether or not I even should be doing it. But I really wanted to connect with you guys for today. I think it was more just a test of my patience and my ability to continually clear my energy and get myself back into that centered energetic space. So let me see. I just saw comments and then they went away. So I'm trying to figure out, maybe they just, there we go. I found them. Hello, Stephanie. Welcome. Oh, good. I'm glad you can hear me. This is a really, really powerful time that we are entering into here. We've talked a little bit about this gateway of energy that really begins around the 20th and goes straight through really most of the end of December, but most powerfully felt. Oh, thank you, Divine. Welcome. But this energy is going to be most powerfully felt from the 20th until the 23rd or 24th. This is a big, big window. We have the winter solstice happening. We have Jupiter entering 0 degrees of Aries. We have, what else is going on? That new moon in Capricorn, which is really setting our tone for 2023. So this is a big energy, and it's really important that we set our intentions moving forward. So we're going to talk about that and a whole lot of other things. And if we have time, we're going to pull some cards as well. If we don't have too much time to get into the cards, I will do a separate video with a more thorough card reading on these energies. It's gonna depend on how things go as we get moving forward. But we really are setting the tone and the energy and the timeline for 2023 with this new moon in Capricorn and this winter solstice. So it's incredibly important. And I am going to be doing the new moon manifesting ceremony. That's going to be happening on the 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll link how to join that in the description box of this video. And I'll also put a post up in the community tab, letting people know how they can join. People who've done ceremonies with me in the past know how it goes. Just send donation, suggested $22.22, but it can be any amount, whatever you have. If you don't have anything, hello CDK, that you're able to donate at this time, shoot me an email and let me know. I would just really love to have as many people there as possible. The replay is always available as well for those who would like to be sent the link for the replay for donation or not, whatever, however it's going to work. And all of those links for the donations are in the description box below. Send your email with your donation so that way I know where to send the link to. Sometimes people don't send an email, and depending on which service they use, I may or may not be able to contact them. So yeah, I think that's it. Unfortunately, the comments go away after I see them. You guys, those of you who who follow this channel regularly, which is probably going to be most of the people watching this, I'm not exactly tech savvy, so there may be a better way to be able to see the comments, but that's okay. I'll try to respond to them as we go. So let's get into this. Let's talk about these energies. So on December 20th, Jupiter is going to be hitting 0 degrees of Aries. And this is not the first time that Jupiter has hit 0 degrees of Aries. Remember, Jupiter had a retrograde earlier this year in the sign of Aries and back into the sign of Pisces. So now that retrograde is completed, Jupiter has been moving back through those final degrees of Pisces and is now on December 20th going to hit 0 degrees of Aries once more. And I have the dates for that. I have them here in my notes. I usually keep my notes on my phone, so I had to kind of switch it up. They're on my computer today. So Jupiter is going to be at 0 degrees of Aries on the 20th and will remain at this point until the 29th. So that's a big window, big stretch of time here. And those of you who watched the Jupiter retrograde video that I put out a while ago, and it might be a good idea to check back in on that video. It's in the planetary retrogrades playlist, because some of the themes and energies, hello, Heather. Oh, you guys are so sweet, that we felt and experienced then, we're going to be kind of revisiting. This was a period and a point, and we talked about the importance. And I believe Jupiter began his retrograde right when we entered Aries season. Let me see if I can scroll through the notes here. Nope, it didn't. It entered on May 11th of this year. That's the first time that Jupiter hit 0 degrees of Aries. And then it retrograded from July 28th through October 27th. And on October 28th, Jupiter re-entered the sign of Pisces. So his retrograde ended on November 23rd, and he began moving direct again, hitting that 0 degrees Aries point again on December 20th. So look back, but there was something before that where we were talking about, I believe in Aries season, we were talking about the link to the upcoming Jupiter retrograde and all of that energy. So like these energies have been visiting us for a while. We've been talking about them for a while. Something may have started around the time of that Jupiter retrograde and then kind of dwindled out a little bit as Jupiter went into retrograde. It gave us that time to re-examine, reprioritize, decide if the things that we were initiating at that time really were worthwhile and something that we wanted to pursue. And now we're hitting that point again where we can begin to move forward on these things. It is Jupiter. Jupiter is actually beginning a brand new 12-year cycle right now, as it has cycled through the entire zodiac, beginning at Aries, ending at Pisces, and now beginning a new cycle at 0 degrees of Aries. It is also interesting to note that the winter solstice begins when the sun is at 0 degrees of Capricorn. So we have Jupiter at 0 degrees of Aries. We have the sun at 0 degrees of Capricorn. Every season is initiated by a cardinal sign. And so every time the sun shifts into a cardinal sign, we have a solstice or an equinox, and we begin a brand new season, both in terms of weather as well as in terms of, what sign we're moving into as far as the sun energies. So this is a big deal to have these two planets, two forces at 0 degrees of 0 degrees of Capricorn, 0 degrees of Aries, right? A lot of cardinal energy. Remember, Aries is cardinal fire, and then we have cardinal earth here. So there's a big opportunity to really bring our passions to life in a way that's concrete and in a way that lasts. And when we have that new moon in Capricorn on the 23rd at 1 degrees of Aries, we are going to have that in a square to this Jupiter in Aries. So this Jupiter in Aries, hello, McKenna, welcome, is really, really important, and it's going to be really impactful as we continue to move forward with these energies. Give me just a second here. Let's see what else we want to talk about with this. Yeah, Jupiter just really adding strength. It is in a squaring position, which is a position of tension to the sun and the moon. However, it's a motivating aspect. Squares are extremely motivating. So it's really going to get us to look at the ways that we're ready to challenge ourselves. It can bring, when we have this aspect, it can bring a bit of whatever is a little more than spontaneity, recklessness, all right? Especially with Jupiter in the sign of Aries. It can be where we're kind of so optimistic that it borders on unrealistic. However, I think that this is really helpful for a lot of us who tend to kind of downsize things, right? We downsize our importance, we downsize our capabilities, and we downsize the possibilities that are available to us. So I see this energy as a good thing, because it's really allowing us to be expansive and break free of that energy and that tendency that we have to limit ourselves. Hello, Pete, welcome. And that's a big aspect of what this energy is about. It's about not limiting ourselves anymore. When we're looking at the energies of Capricorn and we're looking at the energies of Aries, we can see with Aries that much of what we're going to be working with is our ability to know ourselves, our ability to express ourselves with courage, our ability to be bold, our ability to take charge and really go after what we want. and acknowledge and be honest about what our passions and desires are, our wants and our needs, without feeling the need to apologize. That's a big aspect of this energy. So we're working on self-worth. We're working on self-efficacy, right? We're working on our masculine energy and really learning how to harness that and utilize that in a positive direction. Hello, Ty. Welcome. Oh, it's so great to see you. So that's the energy that we're working with Aries. We're being asked to be bold. Jupiter in Aries wants us to be bold. It wants us to take risks. It wants us to not underestimate ourselves, like we said. And that Capricorn energy, as we're entering what is the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere and the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. I'm working with the winter energies as I do live in the northern hemisphere, but I want to acknowledge that for some people it's actually summertime. But for those of us in the northern, it's initiating that winter energy. And sorry, got to stay hydrated, guys. Capricorn is an energy that's ruled by Saturn, right? Just as Aries is ruled by Mars. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and it rules the 10th house in the astrological chart. And so this is really about the mark that we want to leave on the world. This is, hello, Lainey, welcome. This energy is about productivity. It's about knowing where we want to get and knowing what we have to do to get there. And the information that I received, and when I talk about the solstice and the new moon in Capricorn, this is all within this window from the 20th to the 23rd. And like I said, I feel it extending a bit longer than that, definitely into the 24th. But we're working with all this energy is all the same. All right, it really is. This is why I wanted to do these two energies together, the winter solstice and the new moon in Capricorn. Because it's the same energy. It's asking us to do the same things. And what Spirit channeled to me in regards to this new moon in Capricorn is that this new moon is setting the stage for 2023. And it's really important to get our energy and get our intentions into alignment, our intentions and our actions. Remember, Aries, Jupiter, it's all that Aries energy is all about action. All right, into alignment with what we want and what we want to achieve. Capricorn energy is big on achievement. And so we're really looking at that. And what Spirit wanted us to do for this new moon was to write out our manifesting lists, as we typically do. And we are going to do this during the new moon manifesting ceremony. But underneath each thing that we want to manifest, Spirit wants us to put 3 to 5 action steps that we can take to bring us closer to achieving that goal. All right, Spirit wants us to break it down. This is very Capricorn energy. What is the list of the things? How can I take action? Because remember, we've been talking about this for a while. The importance of taking action toward the things that we want. Understanding that we need to walk our talk. Understanding that it's great to have an intention and desire. But if we're completely passive and we sit back and we don't take any action toward that, like we know that old phrase that we still say on here that we used to say all the time when this channel first started. I take 1 step, Spirit takes 10. But we have to take that first step and just think, if Spirit's taking 10 steps for every 1 step I take, how much further along am I going to get if I take 5 steps as opposed to 1? That's 50 steps from Spirit. All right, this is how it works. This is this co-creative, collaborative energy with Spirit. But what Spirit wants us to understand is that we live in a physical world. Our manifestations are coming to us on a physical level. This is what we're working towards, right? To bring them from the ethereal into the physical. And so in order to do that, we have to do physical things. We have to utilize our resources. Another great thing that's coming through that would be helpful for people to do. Make a list of the resources you have under each thing that you want to manifest, right? 3 to 5 action steps. And then make a list of the resources you have at your disposal that are going to help you achieve that thing or bring that thing into your reality. And yes, of course, we want to feel into the energy of already having it, but we also want to look at these practical aspects and practical application. And this is something that I think is becoming very important for a lot of starseeds and light workers at this time, is the importance of the practical, grounded aspect of our spirituality. A lot of us, we spend a lot of time up in the upper chakras. We spend a lot of time astrally traveling, meditating, working with energy, doing all these different things. And we sometimes neglect the physical and the material. And this, remember, North Node in Taurus, which is going to be active until July 2023, when the North Node shifts into Aries. We got a lot of Aries action this year, you guys. That North Node in Taurus is really emphasizing that. Uranus and Taurus is emphasizing that, the importance of being here right now, and the importance of bringing all of this energy in the higher chakras down into the physical, grounding it into the body, grounding it into the earth, grounding it into our life and our experience of life through our daily habits. This is absolutely imperative. And speaking of that Aries energy and the North Node entering Aries, like I said, there's going to be a ton of action. Those of you who have placements in Aries, I just put out the 2023 sneak peek video for Aries, and I will be getting all the signs out between now and January, probably. Yes, focus on me, purpose, and your soul's purpose. Exactly, divine. That's that Aries energy, right? It's about the self. It's about the needs of the self and honoring those needs and what it is that we do in order to meet those needs. And it's not about having another person meet those needs. It's about meeting them within ourselves. Do it. Whatever you're being called to do, however you're being called to live your purpose, trust that, know that, and follow that. So the Aries energies. What I wanted to get to with that before I forgot is that we have, so 0 degrees is considered the Aries point in astrology. Anytime a cardinal sign hits 0 degrees, it's considered an Aries point. This is a starting point. And 1 degree, when we're going through all the degrees of the zodiac, is also considered an Aryan degree. So this new moon in Capricorn is happening at an Aryan degree, as Jupiter is at 0 degrees of Aries, the Aries point. And we also have the solstice at 0 degrees of Capricorn, right? When the sun hits 0 degrees of Capricorn, and Jupiter hits 0 degrees of Aries, which is an Aries point as well. So there's a lot of new beginnings. There's a lot of Aryan energy that we're working with that's going to be catapulting us into 2023. We have a bunch of moons in Aries. We have an eclipse in Aries. A lot of energy working with this. We have eclipses, one set of eclipses along the Taurus-Scorpio axis, similar to the ones we had all this year. And then we have a set of eclipses along the Aries-Libra axis. So really working with that energy of self versus others and how we balance those energies. Yes, all about new beginnings. Hello, Louise. I've been a mess on and off all day today too. It always comes in waves, right? We're all experiencing these energies in different ways. We're all purging at different times. We're picking up on the collective energies at different times. There's a whole lot of stuff going on energetically, and there are going to be days where we feel like a mess, but it's okay. Embrace your mess. Know that it's part of the process, and it's a beautiful part of the process. But this energy, like we're saying, it's all new. As we move forward into 2023, we have 2 more new moons at 1 degrees of a sign. 1 degrees of Aquarius and 1 degrees of Pisces. So much of that Aryan energy, so much of this fresh new beginnings, this new energy. And we really want to capitalize on it. We really want to be looking at, what do I want? What do I desire? What did I do? And how did I act in accordance with that in 2022? And how can I step that up in 2023 and really show up for my life? And oh, thank you. I love you. I appreciate you guys so much. How can I really show up for my life and the things that matter to me? That's what this energy is asking us to do, is to show up, to be calm, to be confident, to be courageous, right? And to continue to acknowledge the areas and the traumas and the different aspects and energies within us that dampen that confidence, and address those so that we can move forward. But we are naturally going to feel more confident with Jupiter in the sign of Aries. And like we said, this is big. Oh, thank you, Pete. Yes, thank you guys for letting everyone know to go ahead and hit that like button. What was I saying? This is the thing about the doing live streams. Sometimes I can get a little bit distracted as we're talking here. But it's setting that course, it's setting that trajectory, it's setting that direction, knowing that Jupiter is entering a brand new 12-year cycle. All right, so we've closed out that old cycle, As Jupiter retrograded back through the points in Aries he had already visited and back into Capricorn, that gave us a chance to wrap up some of that energy for good. And now we're moving forward, we're moving fresh. And if there is energy that has not been wrapped up, it's time to do that. And so remember, Jupiter represents belief. It represents faith. It represents our morals, our values, our ethics. It is a planet that represents optimism. It brings optimism. Many people say that it brings good luck. And so that's an energy. So we are going to see Jupiter in the signs of both Aries and Taurus in 2023. So this is really exciting for these two signs, especially because that energy, that fresh, optimistic energy, that beneficial energy is going to be moving through and influencing both the signs of Aries and Taurus in this upcoming year. And I'm really excited for that, being a Taurus myself. All right. Is there anything else we want to talk about before we pull some cards here? We're really, like we said, we are learning how to work with our divine masculine energy. Capricorn is traditionally, as it's an earth sign, considered to be a feminine energy, but I see Capricorn very much as a masculine energy. I see the polarity of Cancer and Capricorn. Cancer being the feminine, Capricorn being the masculine. And remember, Cancer is about the home. It's about the family. It's about the inner self. Capricorn in that 10th house is about the outer self. It's about the way we project ourselves into the world. It's about the way we leave our mark on the world, right? The outer life. And so, and there was a lot of energy in the Aries video for 2023 about working with that axis there. Oh, I love you too, Savage Henry. So good to see you here. Yeah, everyone, hop in the chat and say hello as you hop on. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about here? Just a major reset. I see this as being a major reset point, not only in our own individual lives, but collectively as well. So there's going to be a lot of energy shifting and changing for the better. And then as we move into 2023 as well, but because there is so much change, it's going to be an intense year. All right. 2023 is shaping up to be the most intense year we've experienced since 2020. Hello, Tiny Moon Goddess. Welcome. And I know a lot of people are going to hear that and be like, oh, shit. And it's kind of true, right? 2020 for many people was very difficult. Yet, hello, Shamala. Yet, Shamaya. Sorry, I'm literally seeing these comments for like 2 seconds here. But it all depends on what you make of it, right? 2020 for me was one of the most powerful years that I've ever experienced. I think I experienced the most enjoyment, the most abundance, the most, like, 2020 was my year, man. It was absolutely incredible. And it was interesting to see the contrast of how some people had the most challenging year of their lives, right? But I was just in my prime. Oh, that's cool. I love the synchronicities there. And to the person who just commented about feeling alone, Louise, I think that might have been you. You have your tribe right here. All right. We love you so much. We support you. Definitely, if anyone is in need of more support and guidance, I am getting ready to be able to begin opening up readings and energy sessions, all of that stuff again. I do have a wait list that I still need to work through. So only emergency situations would come before the people on my wait list. It's been a little bit of a it's been a juggling act, right? I started being able to take clients again, and then it was really overwhelming with everything else going on, trying to fit them into my schedule. So I am looking at finding some assistance with childcare during the day so I'm able to take some clients. It's all about arranging and rearranging and deciding what the priority is, you know, and in these early months, that priority was my son, and he will, of course, always be a priority. Yes, absolutely. Email me if in non-emergency situations, I can add people to the wait list. and let you know when I'm able to, like, I will update people as I get going through that wait list, just to kind of give them an idea once I know what the speed is going to be like, that I'm able to get people in. But yeah, you are not alone. There's a whole tribe here standing behind you. We do have the Facebook group as well. And Pete, who is on here right now, most of you know Pete, he has a Facebook group, a very large Facebook group on Facebook as well, Empath Uprising. Those are great places to get support and resources. Because as we're moving through this, because it can feel very isolating sometimes, we can feel very alone. And a lot of us, because we are going through this powerful dark night of the soul, right? We're moving through, we're shifting, we're changing, we're hatching. That's the word that Spirit just sent through for me. Hatching. We are hatching this year. That's really interesting. Yes, we love Pete very much. He is wonderful. Yeah, we're hatching this year. That's what 2023 is about. But remember, we're going to have those growing pains. We're going to have those growing pains as we learn how to stand on our new feet, as we learn how to move in our new skin. And there's that disconnect between the old self and the new self, and that sort of void or that gap as we're leaving one behind and still moving into the energy of the other. So it's just so much. Little ducks. Oh, I love that. Little ducks, little dragons, little snakes, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. That's what we're doing, the hatchling. That's a good name for the video, right? I always forget these ideas after. Sometimes Ascension does feel awful because it's bringing everything to the surface that needs to be purged, that needs to be released, that needs to be healed. Because as our vibration rises, all of that unaddressed trauma comes to the surface. Everything that is out of alignment begins to be so painful that we cannot continue along that path, right? We're only comfortable when we're in energy that feels resonant for us, right? When we are in alignment with our soul. And so every way that we're alignment with our soul is going to show up. All the unaddressed traumas that need to be healed because they're not a vibrational match for the energy that we're moving into comes to the surface as well. So it can be extremely uncomfortable. I think Pete on the Chosen 144 just did a video about the dark night of the soul. It's definitely worth doing another video on this channel as well, talking about those energies, because a lot of people have been going through that this year. I know 2022, this was a big dark night of the soul year for me. This has been, honestly, we talked about how 2020 was one of the best years of my life. 2022 was one of the hardest years of my life. And I'm still coming out of that energy. It's like this again. It's like as we move through our ascension, it kind of starts out like this. And then it's like the waves get a little bit less intense for a while. But sometimes there's turbulence again. And there's been turbulence for a lot of us this year, I think, because our vibration is increasing so rapidly and there's so many changes. We are shifting timelines. The entire timeline for humanity and the ascension process shifted this year. And so as a result of that, a lot of people's purposes shifted. A lot of the work that we're doing and the ways that we have been, the ways that we came here to work with and for and serve humanity or each other, have sped up as well. We've been, sometimes it's looked like giant detours that we've had to take because another mission has become more important than the original mission that we came here for. So there's been a lot of shakeups. There's been a lot of shifting and moving. And part of the reason for the timeline switch, Spirit told me, was because actually a lot of people are learning how to take control of their lives and their manifested reality and have been consciously shifting timelines. And that is actually shifting the timeline of the planet. So you see, we do make a difference when we come together and when we individually work to heal ourselves and work to shift into higher frequencies of energy. And I think this was something that Pete suggested on one of his videos that I watched recently that I really liked. And that was every night before you go to bed saying, I intend to wake up on my highest timeline. And when we awaken in the morning saying, I am now living my highest timeline. So really working with that energy. This is 2023 is the year that we really get to become our best self. But in order to do that, we got to do the work. All right. So that's the Capricorn energy coming in. All right. So we are going to pull some cards here. I have about 40 minutes that we can stay on here. Maybe 20 minutes, we'll say. 20 to 30 minutes. I wanted to get this started way earlier, but there was some finagling that had to happen. All right, so what do we want to use? All right, as we are talking about this new moon, we're talking about manifesting change. We're talking about shifting timelines and new beginnings. The Moonology manifestation cards. I love that. Something amazing is going to happen today. Yes, something beautiful and empowering that really sets the tone and sets the mood and sets the intention for the day. Remember, our intention is our most powerful tool. Clear. When we wander through life without intention, without knowing and having complete awareness of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and what the desired result is, it can just breed chaos. Clear. We want to really move through life with that intention and try to speak with intention, act with intention as often as possible. All right, so let's get some energy for this winter solstice, new moon in Capricorn. All right. We have trust the universe and detoxify, Aquarius and Taurus energy coming out here. So there is, as we are shifting frequency yet again, as we are moving into these higher timelines, it's really important with all of this energy coming in, thanks Pete, that we detoxify. And this is not just the physical, but the physical is very important. All right. Listening to our bodies and eating the foods that feel good to our bodies. And those are going to be different for every single person. There is not one diet that is perfect for everyone. All right. We all have different blood types. We all have different energy bodies. We all react to different things in different ways. So this idea that one diet fits all for the ascension is quite frankly bullshit. Like there's a lot of different ways to work with that. Listen to your own body and what it is that your own body needs, all right? But detoxifying, definitely cutting out, doesn't matter. I don't care whose body we're talking. It is a scientific fact that processed foods and lots of sugars, lots of artificial sugars are not beneficial for the body. So definitely if we can, eat whatever you want, but try to cut down on those foods if those foods are currently in your diet. That's going to be really helpful. That detoxification process. And I'm kind of excited. I'm still in the beginning stages of talking with these people. I may actually have a partnership that I'm entering into with a company that makes this I have to ask them how to pronounce it. This special type of resin that comes from like the Himalayan mountains, really, really high up in the mountains, that's supposed to have incredible healing properties. So I'm going to get the opportunity, Shijat or something like that, resin. I'm going to get the opportunity to try some of these products. And if they work, I'm going to be sharing some stuff about that with you guys. But that sounds like an incredible detox. Salmon, oatmeal, veggies, those are good things. Drinking more water. And hello, dear. I think that was Suzanne. Like I said, these comments pop by so quickly. Oh, Shlajit. So you know what I'm talking about, light codes. Yeah, I'm really excited. They have a honey-based product. They have a resin. They have a couple other things. And they also manufacture or sell Ormus 24 karat gold, which is supposed to be great for the light body. I've tried a couple different brands. Some of them I felt more than others. But yeah, just a really, really cool company. So that's going to be amazing. But yeah, water. I think Ty mentioned that. Yeah, that's another thing. No matter who you are, that's another staple. That's another scientific fact. Getting rid of the overly processed foods and the artificial sugars and sweeteners and like the different colors and all that stuff, and drinking more water. Every single body needs water. And the more our vibration raises, oh, are you? Oh, that's awesome, light codes. Really? So you're saying, so you enjoy it. And I'm so excited. I really love supplements and different things like this, but it gets really overwhelming trying to figure out what to take. And sometimes I don't take them for long enough to see the desired results, but I am pretty excited about that one. So thank you, light codes, for sharing that you've had a great experience with it. Yeah. Some people, and this is not medical advice, but they use boron or borax in order to detoxify, chelate heavy metals, and decalcify the pineal gland, a lot of stuff like that. I'm not making any medical recommendations or any recommendations around that. I have to be really careful about how I phrase these things, but I'm saying, like, maybe look into that if that's something, if you're really wanting to work with, especially that pineal gland and the decalcification of that. There's a lot of different ways to remove heavy metals from the body. That is really important to chelate the body. And oh, I love all the suggestions. You guys know what you're talking about. Harataki, I think that's a kind of mushroom, right? Yeah, mushrooms are incredibly powerful in healing. Medicinal mushrooms. So any of these things, anything that we can incorporate into our diet, anything to detox the physical body, taking it back to the basics too, salt baths. As many salt baths as we can take. Pink Himalayan salt, sea salt, Epsom salt. I like to use all three. A little bit of baking powder. So important, or baking soda, whatever you've got. It doesn't really matter either way. A little bit of hydrogen peroxide, if you feel so called. I like to throw crystals in there. I like to like charged crystals in there. I like to throw essential oils in there. Whatever feels good to you. Some CBD crystals sometimes are really nice and soothing. Soak in that for 20 minutes or so. And that can be really helpful. But this is also detoxifying on an emotional level, on a spiritual level. This is detoxifying, maybe looking at social media. How much time do I spend on social media? How do I feel when I'm on there, right? And if it's not good, then maybe it's time to unplug for a little bit. What am I watching? How does it make me feel? What am I reading? What am I listening to? Who am I interacting with? What places am I going? I know this collective is amazing. I love you guys so much. It's all of these things. Where do I need a detox? What area of my life is calling for a detox? Are all areas of my life? Because remember, as we're starting this brand new beginning, we want to be at optimum vibration frequency. We really want to be oh, thank you. It's because our collective energy when we come together is so powerful. And there are light codes being transmitted through this video. There are healing energies being transmitted for those who are open to receive them as well. Tea is a great delivery system. Yes, yes. Dude, you guys have the best suggestions. I love it. You guys are so aware. You're so tuned in. You're so tapped in. It's amazing. So it's like taking all this stuff that we know and really employing it and making sure that we're utilizing it so that we can move into 2023 fresh and clear. And our energy is clear. Our focus is clear. Remember, the physical affects the emotional, affects the mental, mind, body, spirit. It's all connected. So we want to detoxify whatever levels we need to detoxify there. And trust the universe. So much has shifted. So much has changed. For so many of us, our path, our trajectory, our mission, our purpose has changed. I know for me, my purpose hasn't changed, but it's been added to, right? I brought a little starseed onto this planet, right? So that was, I don't know. I don't know if that was always my mission. If it was very clearly hidden for me. That was the biggest curveball of anything that I could ever be received. That was not in my plans. There is nothing more shocking than the idea of me having a child. Anyone who knows me knows this. So that was a big curveball for me. And he is beautiful. He is wonderful. He is a beautiful light in the world. And I'm thinking about starting an additional channel when I do have the time for parents of starseeds. Because I don't think there's a lot of resources out there for that. And I think that would be a really beautiful thing for the community of us who are raising these children. Yeah, beautiful. I love that tie. So that's a project that may be coming in the future. But yeah, trust the universe. Whatever, however, wherever it's taking you, whatever corner, whatever hard left or hard right you are called to take, right? And you have the GPS of your spirit. Just trust it and go with it. And know that everything is working out for your highest good. That's another great mantra to start out with every morning. Everything is happening for my highest and best good. Everything I experience today is for my highest and best good. Utilizing that mantra that includes my highest and best good, clear, is always a good idea. All right, any other guidance for this winter solstice, new moon in Capricorn? Full moon in Capricorn, take a reality check. All right, so this is that Capricorn energy coming in. And it's the full moon. I love that. Because this energy of this Capricorn new moon is going to be so intense. It will feel like a full moon, even though it is a new moon. I never expected to have children. Now I have 3, Stephanie. That's so funny. That's so funny. I made a very conscious and deliberate decision not to, from the time that I understood where children come from and how that happens. So my entire life, I have been very steadfastly like, that's a beautiful path for some, but it's not the path for me. And I always joked as I became more spiritually rooted that it was going to take an act of God for me to ever have a child. I said, I think my literal words were, God will have to come down from the sky and tell me directly, you must have this child. This is for your highest good, or I won't do it. And God basically did that, not in the grand fashion that I was joking about, but more or less like the signs, the synchronicities, the messages from my soul. It was very clear. And he is absolutely a blessing. He is such a beautiful light in this world. And so I am very grateful for him. But yeah, it was not in my plans. And that's what it's like. If I had not progressed to the place that I am now spiritually, it never, ever would have happened. Right? I had to be spiritually open. I had to learn not only how to trust the universe, but how to trust my own soul. And that's how I know that it was, that it was meant to be at this time. Because your soul will never steer you wrong. When you are able to tap into the truth of your own soul, you will never be steered wrong. Your soul will always guide you in the right direction for you, for your highest and best good at this time, at any now moment. So when you can tap into that, that's all the guidance you need. You don't need me. You don't need Pete. You don't need your cards. You don't need any of this, because you don't need to look outside for information, because it's all within. That's the place that each and every one of us is being asked to arrive at. But with this take a reality check energy, getting back to this now, this is what we're talking about, that reevaluating, right? We got Capricorn and Taurus energy here. So we got 2 earth energies on the table right now and an air energy. Yeah, exactly. Everything happens for my highest good all the time. Everything is always happening for my highest and best good. I don't know where I was going with that just a second ago, but we're getting back to this energy. We're being asked, this earth energy, right? We're being asked to realistically look at and assess all the areas of our lives where there is room for improvement. We're being asked to, instead of examining what's wrong and what we've done wrong, what Spirit wants us to do when we see an area of our lives that desires improvement, don't be like, oh, this sucks and this is bad and I can't believe I did that and why did I make that choice and why is this happening to me, and get into a victim mentality or get into a self-critical mentality. Instead, what Spirit wants you to do is say, okay, what do I want instead? Okay, so this isn't working. What do I want instead? If I could have anything, if I could experience any feeling in this area of my life, if I could have anything in this area of my life manifested physically, what would it be? And once we identify what it would be, how we want things to shift, then we identify the steps that we can take to get there. Then we identify the resources that we have at our disposal. All right, but this energy is asking us to be honest with ourselves. All right? Be honest about what you really want. Have the courage to be honest about what's really not working. All right, some of us, we like to pretend things are working even when they're not, because it's easier that way. Because then we don't have to face the reality that something needs to change. But this energy wants us to be really honest about what it is that we want, what it is that's working for us, what it is that's not, what it is that might work better. Oh, wow. Okay. So we have Unleash Your Kindest Self. And this is the first quarter moon in Capricorn. Know Your Worth, new moon in Taurus. And Leave the Past Behind, last quarter moon in Capricorn. All right, can I just point out, we have 3 Capricorn moon cards and 2 Taurus moon cards, as well as 1 Aquarius. All right, that's a whole lot of Taurus and Capricorn energy here. All right, feeling Taurus and Capricorns being very influenced by this new moon and this solstice energy. And of course, as we said, Aries are going to be as well. Any of the cardinal signs. Yeah. We're being asked to embody the Taurus energy, to embody the Capricorn energy, as well as the Aries energy as we're moving through this. Unleash your kindest self. This is not just being kind to others, although that is important, right? It's also being kind to me, right? How can we be kind to ourselves? How can we be gentler with ourselves? How can we begin to understand and master the art of service from an unselfish place? Service that truly comes from the heart. And how can we remember to fill our own cup and be of service to ourselves before others? Because remember, if I'm not good, how can I help somebody else be better? If I have nothing to offer, if I don't, taking it back even more, if I don't know how to offer love to myself and compassion to myself, then how am I able to truly give that to another? And if I am able to truly give that to another, how do I turn that around on me? Right? A lot of us, we have this block there. And so we have to wonder, is the love that we give to others truly a reflection of love that we hold in our hearts? Or is that are we loving people out of a need for validation? Out of a need for love, right? The most basic human need is love. Yes, we need food, we need water, we need air, but we also need love. It was really interesting. My friend Tommy was talking about an experiment that one of the kings of, I forget what country, probably maybe England, I don't know. I guess maybe we just all, like the King of England, the Queen of England is like the most well-known, at least here in the United States. That's what we always think of when we hear kings and queens for the most part. But it was a very long time ago. They did an experiment, and it's completely awful. Honestly, being a new mom, it honestly almost made me cry hearing about this. They took babies away from their mothers and they placed them in a nursery. The experiment was originally to see what language a child would end up speaking if no words were ever spoken to them. And they weren't influenced by hearing a language. And so, of course, my first thought there was they probably wouldn't speak at all, because children learn and pick up on language through listening to it spoken and having it spoken to them, right? But the experiment didn't last very long, because what actually happened was the king decided that in addition to not speaking to them, the nurses could not touch them either. And because of the lack of touch and the lack of connection, these babies all died. Right? They did not receive any love, any soothing, any compassion, any connection, and so they ceased to exist. All right, this energy, love is a basic need. Not only is it the bridge, not only is it the connection to everything. Hello, Tara, welcome. But it is our basic human need. All right. So we do things, a lot of our motivations, whether we know it or not, are out of a need and a desire for love, right? A lot of the pain, most of the pain in the world, most of the lashing out, right? The anger comes from a lack of love. All right. So we really think about that. And oh, how can you guys hear me now? That's the annoying thing of doing things on your phone. Is it still the sound not working? You can hear me now? Okay. Yeah, that's the annoying thing about doing things on your phone is sometimes the sound cuts out. Did you hear the story, the love story? Okay. Yeah, so we were talking about the importance of that, and we were talking about the importance of self-love as well. And how when we need and when we don't have self-love and we need and desire love from others, then we're almost like a bottomless pit, right? We're just reaching for and reaching for and reaching for all this love, but it never fills us up because we need to be full within ourselves first. No, it's not the Mercury retrograde. I have people trying to call me and stuff right now. I don't know how to I don't know how to deal with that on the phone. I don't usually do stuff on my phone, so. Although we do have a Mercury retrograde coming up on the 29th. That number 29, very significant as well. So we have the number 0 and 1 and the number 29 throughout 2023 as well. So 29 is the end of the zodiac. It is a critical degree. All right. This is a degree that represents closure. It represents finality. It represents the like the wrap up of something. Like something we really came here to learn and master. And of course, 1 and 0 represent the beginning, right? It's like the Fool card and the World card. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of closeouts and a lot of new beginnings coming our way. And that's why this is right here, this leave the past behind. Right? Close out what needs to be closed out. Let what needs to die, die. And then we are going on that love tangent, and it was all about the know your worth, all right? If we don't have self-love, it's pretty hard to have self-worth, right? Those two things are very intertwined. It's kind of like the chicken and the egg. Born on 29 degrees of Scorpio. Ooh, nice, tiny moon goddess. My north node is 29 degrees of Aries, so I will be experiencing my nodal return this year as we move into the end of July there. 29 degrees. Anytime you have something placed at 29 degrees, you know that this is an energy that you are here to master in this lifetime. It's make it or break it time, right? That critical, that anaretic degree, 29 degrees. All right. It's the endings and the beginnings. Leave the past behind. It doesn't serve you anymore. You're not living there. You're living here. You're in this now moment. All right. How can we live in the present if we're still living in the past? Or if we're living in the future. So we want to project into the future. We want to visualize. We want to set our intentions. We want to outline our steps, right? And take steps toward what we want to create in the future. But we want to do that while being anchored in the now. And so the difference there is like when you're constantly daydreaming, when you're constantly putting stuff off and saying, I'll be happy when this happens. Everything will be all right when. I'll be worthy when. That's living in the future. When you're planning for the future and taking those steps, as long as you're going there, but you're staying here, you can still be present while you do that. But when you're daydreaming and you're lost in fantasy, right? And you're waiting for your time to come. And that's all you're thinking about, because you don't want to be in the present, because the present is not satisfying you. That's when you're stuck in the future. That's when you're not rooted here. Just like when we're constantly living in nostalgia and thinking more about the past than we are the present. We can dip into the past to look and grab some wisdom, right? So that we can remember the things that have happened. We can take that into account. But if we're constantly going over and over the things that have happened in the past, we're not in the present, right? So we can access both of those points from the now. But when we spend too much time indulging in them, that brings us out of this present moment. And we don't want to do that. We want to be fully present for our lives as they unfold in 2023 and beyond. I don't know a whole lot about Neville Goddard's teachings. I haven't actually, I know this sounds kind of funny maybe, but I haven't really read a whole lot by different spiritual teachers. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, different things like that. So there's a lot of people who talk about spirituality and talk about a lot of these different concepts that I'm very unfamiliar with. Clear. I've heard their names. And I know a lot of people that do work with his teachings. So perhaps I will. Yeah, full moon in Leo, go wild on the bottom of the deck. All right. I am probably going to do another live stream as we hopefully clear, if time allows, as we move closer into these energies. Today we're going to have to wrap this up, but I do want to pull a final card for you guys. I'm just trying to decide what I want to pull here. We're going to pull a Secret Language of Light card. Transmissions from your soul. All right. Let's get a closing card. Clear. For the winter solstice, new moon in Capricorn. And I want to once again wish a happy birthday to all of my Sagittariuses. It was halfway through Sagittarius season when I finally had time to do a video, and there were more pressing things at hand. So I didn't do the Sagittarius season video, but I did put out your peek into 2023 first as an apology. I love you guys so much. I know that I have a ton of Sagittarians on this channel. Nice. Yeah, throw your recommendations for different gurus and teachers whose teachings you have found helpful in the chat here so that other people can utilize them. Hopefully, I don't know if this is going to save the chat replay or not. I hope it does. If it doesn't, like I said, not so tech savvy, not used to using my phone for these live streams. If it doesn't, then maybe pop them in the description box too. Pop your recommendations. We have so many brilliant minds here and so many beautiful, beautiful, bright souls that I love it when we share our wisdom with each other. Yeah. Scorpio's coming soon. I'm doing the rest of them kind of based on intuition and what feels kind of resonant in the moment when I sit down. I did Aries next just because I've just been learning about all the intense Aries energy we have. And I know it's going to be a really intense year for them. Aries and Taurus, man. And probably some other signs too, but I know those two are going to be in for a powerful year. Ask your soul. This is the closing guidance. So this plays right into what we were talking about, and this is confirmation from Spirit. You are the oracle. All the answers exist and reside within you. If you have a question moving forward, ask your soul. Your soul has the answer. The soul has all the answers you need. All right, sit in meditation. See these hearts above this person's head. Work with that love energy. Come from a place of love. Tap into, it's like, a lot of times when we meditate, we're kind of going up, right? Connecting with, oh, I love it. You have this deck too. I love it, Tiny Moon Goddess. And that's perfect as well for this reading. What was that? Let your light shine. Is that what that said? But it's, we tend to go up and out, right? A lot of times we're trying to connect with our spirit guides. We're trying to connect with source, with higher consciousness, with the higher realms and frequencies, right? This card is saying your soul isn't out there. Your soul is in here. All right. So ask your soul by going within, going into your heart space. They're showing me a meditation right now. Sit, connect, clear your energy, place your protections, right? You always want to do this when you meditate. You want to do this before bed as well. And throughout the day if you can. But once you're in that sacred space, close your eyes and imagine traveling deep inside your heart. Visualize that heart space, feel into that heart space, breathe into that heart space, and imagine yourself moving through like a tunnel within your heart. And imagine your higher self, your soul self, your highest self, your soul self, there in the center of that heart space, and speak and communicate with your soul from there. This is what we're being taught. This is one of the major things that we're learning. How to ask your soul, instead of looking without, go within. Your soul is going to, your soul will always lead you true. Yep, exactly, Louise. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tiny Moon Goddess. I love you guys. And sometimes it speaks in whispers, right? And make sure that you create and cultivate the space to clear your energy, to center yourself, right? Create that sacred space. Have that place of retreat. And it's great to have a physical space for that, but more importantly, it's this space. Being able to finding a way that you can continually go back into this space. And create space for the things that you want to. That's the other aspect of this that Spirit wants us to keep in mind. Create space for the things that you want. It's like the super old adage or the super old story when they're saying when you're wanting to manifest something. Say you're wanting to manifest a new wardrobe, but you still have all your old clothes hanging up in your closet. Get rid of some of that stuff, right? Do the purge. Make the space. So make the space for the things you want in your life. Make the space for the time that you need for you, for self-care. Make the space for wellness and the space for expansion. And don't forget to stay grounded. We've been talking about this a lot. All right, the importance of grounding our energy and moving forward from that grounded place. Clear. I'm not going to go over all of that again right now, but just we're getting constant reminders to ground our energy because it's so important. And that's how you receive the healing. Clear. That's how you receive the insight. That's how you stay connected to this planet and our beautiful frequencies. Schumann resonance, all of that. All right. I love you guys so much. I'm so glad that you were able to join me today. All of you who caught this on the replay, I love you as well. Happy new moon, happy solstice. We'll probably do more readings on this. Like I said, as we come through. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Adam, for your generous donation. That just came through. I just saw that. Much appreciated. Yeah. We're going to keep looking into these energies, but just know that they're powerful. I will put a post up for that new moon ceremony, 22nd, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join the typical way we always have. Send a donation, $22.22 or whatever you can afford, to any of the links below along with your email. And I will send you a Zoom link after I receive your donation. If you can't afford to donate, send me an email, let me know. We can figure something out. I just want people to be able to access the ceremony. Thank you so much, Pete. Thank you so much, everyone. If you want to be a part of it, and we're going to be doing some of the stuff that we talked about in this video, some of the ways that Spirit guided us to manifest and create We're also going to be broadcasting from inside your heart chamber. I love it, Ty. And we're also going to be, of course, doing some downloads, some releases, all the typical things that we do during the ceremony and whatever else may come up. Oh, I love you guys so much. You make me feel so good. I appreciate you so much. I'm so glad that you appreciate me. Like, I really cannot voice enough how important this tribe is to me and how much I love you guys and how much you make my life, you enrich my life so much. Oh, thank you again for that donation. I don't know if that's from the same person or not, but thank you. You guys are amazing. You really, oh, I think that was a donation for the new moon ceremony. Awesome. Yes, I got that now. The link isn't made up yet, but when it is made up, I will get it out to everyone who has joined. I'll get that out done. I'll get that done sometime in the next couple days. All right, you guys, until we meet again. And yes, thank you, Pete, for that reminder for everyone not in the chat. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do. It gets these videos out to more people and helps to expand the channel so we can expand the energy, right? The more energy we have, the more powerful a force we are of change in the world. All right, you guys, until we speak again. Oh, I just was trying to hit the exit button on my computer, which is sitting up here next to me, because I'm so not used to doing this on my phone. Let me try this. And this always takes a minute. I think if I just hit the X, it's gonna let me out here. You guys are beautiful. You are amazing. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful week. Have a beautiful solstice and new moon. And if I don't see you at the ceremony, or I'm not able to hop on here again before, for those of you who do celebrate Christmas, have a beautiful Christmas as well. All right. Bye. All right. Oh, I just figured out how to look back at the comments. I swear to God, I was doing that before and it was not doing this for me. It's been one of those days. Like I said, you guys, the process that it took for me to get on here today was unbelievable. I almost gave up a couple times and was like, well, maybe it's not meant to be, but I really wanted to get on here with you guys, so we figured it all out. But it's been a weird day. I think it is Mercury. I think some of this may actually be Mercury retrograde. Whoever said that. All the issues, but we got them all figured out. We're here. We will always, that's what you work with, what you've got, right? And if you don't succeed, try again. And so ultimately it's that energy and that mindset that got us all on here together today. So thank you. All right, let's see if this works. Yep, that's